Good morning. I am here with Mary Burns at Martha's Task, and she is going to show us how to make a Japanese market bag. Tell us about these, Mary.
Oh, I've been seeing these. These are real fun bags. I see them called mostly Japanese market bags, but you'll also see them called a triangle bag or whatever. They're called Japanese market bag because they will make them in Japan and take them to when they go to the grocery store. So you got a really nice deep bag that you can stick all your groceries in, and it's a really nice deep bag that'll hold a lot.
And yet lightweight.
And lightweight, yes, it could fold up. And, I could see taking one, folding it up, and sticking it in your suitcase when you travel, especially if you're traveling internationally, because there's some countries where they don't give out shopping bags like they do in the U.S. So having a nice big tote bag is always nice, and a sturdy market bag it will fold out really small and go into your suitcase really well.
Excellent.
So to do this, you're going to have a piece of fabric. We are working with the large ones. We are working with a piece of fabric that is 18.5 inches wide and 52.5 inches long.
Okay.
So it's a big, long piece of fabric. The dimensions on these are basically is your width, and then your length is 3 times your width. So I'm working on a bag that's going to be 17 inches wide, and then 3 times that is 51 inches. And then I'm doing a narrow hem on it. So I'm adding another 1.5 inches for my narrow hem on all 4 sides. So once you get your fabric cut out, you're going to go and you're going to do your narrow hem, and you'll turn over 3/8 of an inch. And I do this with the iron. I turn over 3/8 of an inch and press it, then I do another 3/8 of an inch and press it. And you'll just pin it, and you'll do this all the way around your fabric. So down here, you'll go down and all the way around your fabric. I'm not going to take the time to do it on this, but you'll do this all the way around. And so on this piece, I've already done the narrow hem all the way around. So you can see it here, all the way. So the next step is, once you do your narrow hem, the next step is the folding. And so this you need to practice with, pay attention a little bit. So first of all, I'm going to take one corner and I'm going to fold it into a triangle. Just bring it down to the other side, and I'm going to go ahead and pin it down. And that keeps it in place for the rest of the folding. Then I'm going to go to the other corner, and I'm going to fold it the opposite way. So now this is, I don't know if the video's picking it all up, but one's folded down and one's folded up. And then I'm going to pin it.
What are your measurements there, Mary?
At this is going to be 1/3, so this should be 17 inches.
Okay.
And this will be 17, this will be 17. So they're all in thirds.
Okay.
So then the final step is you take it and you fold it like this. And so I want to be sure my corners all match up real good. So see there, I've got all my corners matched up. So that is, now I've folded it into the bag shape. And I'm going to remove these pins, and then I'm going to take it and I'm pinching my narrow hems together. So see, I pinched it together, and I'm going to pin it all the way down to the corner. Do another one here. Then I'm going to pick up my bag and I'm going to turn it over. And then I'm going to do the same thing along this side. And just pin it all the way down to my corner. And then I'm going to go to my sewing machine and I'm going to sew it right along the edge of my seam allowance. And I actually use a zipper foot, so I could just line my zipper foot up with my edge of my narrow hem and just sew right down that. So this one, I've already sewn, so I can open it out and you'll see where it's been sewn along each side. And then I actually went in and I stitched a little bit across the top just to hold it and reinforce it right up here at the top. And on the outside, I sewed it on the outside right along over my stitching that I did for my narrow hem. So you see it really doesn't show because it's right across there. You can see it here on the bottom. So that's the bag sewn together. And then you turn it right side out. And so the next step is to do the handle. And I'm doing my handle with a contrast. So again, as you saw on this, I had a contrast fabric. You could do the same, but I did a pretty contrast to add interest. So to do that, I took a piece of fabric. It is 3 inches by 6 inches. And I took the fabric, and the first thing I did was I did a narrow hem along the short edges. So I just folded the fabric over twice, and I stitched it, and I did it on both ends. And so you can see where I've done it on both of these ends. And then you fold it in half, and you sew it together, and I formed a tube. Now I'm going to take a safety pin and turn this right side out. So just do the safety pin and you run it through. And you just kind of pull your fabric through. And I've turned it right side out now. Oops, I got a little bit. I'll have to trim up some threads here. And then once I do that, my next step is I'm going to put it on to one side of my bag. And it doesn't matter which side you do it. You'll just take your bag and I squish it up real small and I start threading it through. And sometimes you just kind of got to twist it. I'll straighten this out once I get it on, but to get it fed through, I'm just kind of twisting and pulling. So now I have to pull this through for my handle. And then I'm going to take this and I'm going to overlap my corners about 1.5 inches. And I pin it, and then I'm going to go and sew these corners down. So I'm just going to do a seam just kind of there around, and I just basically sewed a square through both layers of my fabric and sewed my fabric together. And then once you do that, you will just take this and you slide your handle back and you slide your handle over the seam, and then your bag is done. So they're real easy to make. Once you get down how to fold them, they're easy to make. And you just, they're just fun, easy to make bags. And you can have some really cute, colorful bags that you could use for grocery shopping or whatever. Take them down to the farmer's market. Take them wherever you need them. So, thank you for watching my video today.